Hey there, folks. Let's go to CSSBattle.dev and do today's daily target, which is that. Definitely have a feeling about doing this all in a single or two, maybe three gradients. Let's see, what can we do in two? That's the question. Okay, so yeah, so okay, here we go. We're gonna see if what we can do there. So let's say conic gradient, and we want orange to be predominant. Yeah, orange is predominant, and I think it's from minus 90 degrees. That color, 75%. Okay, yeah. 75% and then transparent. Like that. So, what do we need to create that shape? I'm going to move it over. So I'm going to say no repeat. And then I need a position, and I'll start at 0, 0. And then give it a width, 100 pixels, and a height, 200 pixels. We're going to put it in the middle vertically. And then we're going to move it over 100 pixels. And I think what I'd like to do is have it be this wide, and see where that gets us. And I will put as a background color this blue. Okay, so with the no repeat, that is going to give us what we want in terms of isolating this so that we understand the shapes that we're trying to create. So at 150, great. We need an at value of 100 pixels, 20 pixels or something. This is what we've made. It's got to be wider, which is that value, 17, 14, 14, that looks correct. And then if I let it repeat, then I get that. Oh, what if I let it oh. So I didn't think this fully through. When I let it repeat, I get that, which is almost what I want, but not quite. Okay, so we're going to reuse this. I'm going to copy this background and go back to nested template. And so I'm going to put this on the body like that. And then I'm going to put the blue on the HTML element there. And then by using these margins, 3, 4, 42, 0, well, minus 8, I think. Now we got that. And I think we need to move this over horizontally, 10 pixels. 20, 10. Oh, look at that. Wait, no, is that right? No, 10 pixels. 10 pixels over. Ha ha ha. So that's hilarious. Oh, the height is too high, isn't it? It should be 180. Oh, almost, huh? That is an almost type situation. Pretty good, not good enough. So to fix this, we need a second conic gradient, I believe, which is this blue. Can I make that work? Not sure. Oh, because it's asymmetric. So all of that is a little too fancy, really. Now, you're saying, Joe, why are you not bringing the background? So because to do a linear gradient, so I'll just show you the red, green, the simplest possible linear gradient. Look at that size. So that's red to green, great. But it repeats in this weird way on the HTML element. And that just is just, I don't like having to add to that and then like a no repeat or 100 V, 100%, 100 VH, which I think is what I need to do. There might be a better way to do that. No, it's VH. Like I don't care for it. I think it's because of the way that the margins on the body element are having upstream effects on the HTML element, but it just creates the wrong size, and I have to do some sort of trickery to make it work. And I just am not a fan of that. I don't care for it. So I'm less excited about the solution now that I see what's wrong with it, because essentially I need to do a linear gradient or a linear coming in at 90 degrees, and it's going to be this blue color, 20 pixels, and then transparent. Need a comma there. Move it over to 100 pixels, yeah. Or 110 pixels. Or 90 pixels. Yeah, they're 90 pixels, and then give it a width, 200 pixels. 90, like that. Oh, and I need a comma, missing a comma, there it is. So if I make that wider, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 200. And now I got that. That still leaves out this part, which is maybe not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. So we'll follow the thread. I don't like this solution, but it works kind of. So let's do another 90-degree solution that's going to be repeat on the x-axis only, and that's going to be, it's going to have a width of some percentage. 100 pixel, so we'll put it at 0, 0 to start. 100 pixels wide and 30 pixels tall, just a ridiculous color with red, transparent. And don't forget the comma, or we see nothing, comma, there it is. So then we put this at 50%. And the width of that has got to be, so essentially we need just, how about 50%? 50% to it? Or 40%, or 80%. And then that had the 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and then we'll adjust that 90. Yeah, I think that'll do it. And then set that to 0, plonk. Okay. So I'm using percentages because I'm kind of just doing a coverage here. And this will cover in the way that I want it to. How about, so now I need a height for that. Too tall. And I do need it to be very precise, so I'm going to do it in pixels, 180, 170, 160. There it is. And we need that blue. Plonk. It's at 0, it starts at 0. Submit, and this is going to be our first 100% solution for that guy. Which is, it works. I'm not complaining. Not too much. What are our other choices? It's this line is sort of the tricky part, and this is an okay score. Let's go blank template. Let's see what it means to do this using a paragraph element. So what if we let's put nothing on the background and just do the blue part on this guy. Let's set color to be that color, and I'll set margins on him, and I just want to do the middle part. What's it look like to just build out that blue? 70, 102, and I'm setting the color because I want to do box shadow. So see the width of that? Oh, that's great. So the height needs to be more, 160, 160, yeah, 160. And the width needs to be what, like 180 or something, right? 180, 190, there it is. 180, and then the same again at minus 180 pixels, 0. And then for good measure, we'll do an inset 1 inch, 1 inch, which will cover the whole thing, I think, unless it's going to be like 2 inches, and then we can remove our background. Okay, so we want 2 inches, 2 inches. Haha. Oh, and we actually want it to be more, don't we? 200. Oh, because I have this wrong. 1, 2. Okay, and then these numbers are wrong. 6, 160, and 160. Okay, so this is what we built so far. So then how little code can we write to do the rest of that? Is there some other mechanism? So we would have to double up to do the orange of that. Okay, so here's conic, where conic gradient comes into play, and we want transparent 75%, and then we want that orange. And I'm going to move that into place. 100 pixels, 110, 20. Is that the width? Too much. How about 110? And then down 30 pixels, 40, 50. And then we need to change the center of that conic gradient. $180. And then we need to change the center to be lower, 100 pixels, 200 pixels. And then we need to change the width. So we know it's at least more than 200 pixels, so we type 210 pixels. And there it is. That's not bad. And then if I just put in blue, will that didn't work? I think it will. So that's a single conic gradient. So yeah, if I put blue here, then we've got it. All right, that's a little cleaner. And so the covering is done by the box shadows of our middle element. Not a high score. We'll do some unit replacements. Boom, boom, done, boom. Okay, and that's a higher score. Okay, can we use this with the HTML and body element? Kind of, almost, nearly. I would put the margins, I could take the margins off of there and put the margins on the HTML element. And this is where that repeat of that gradient comes into play. That kind of is working, but it's kind of not. It's kind of not worth it. I'm not happy with that. If I were doing it that way, and you saw how kind of sort of cleanly it came out of the pen there. When I did it a step at a time. Reusing this code now on the HTML and body element, because the dynamics of how HTML and body interact are not solid in my mind. Now, maybe you have a better idea about how those interact, then you might be able to reuse this code. If you could analogize paragraph and body to HTML and paragraph and body in the same way that I do HTML or body and HTML, then you could have a good time at that, making that. But as it is, I'm not going to do that. Am I going to do that? So now I want to do it. Oh, this is how my brain is so interesting, right? Like, okay, so I'm going to copy and paste that and do nested template, nested. And I'm going to cut and paste this thing and add a comment. All right, so the thing that I did first, we're just going to redo exactly what we did before. And I'm going to put white on the background. And the thing that I did was use margins to make the initial blue part. 5, 6, 7, 6, 60, 58, 60, 61, 62, and then on the sides, 100, 102. No, it's more. 3, 4. So that's the guy. And then I do color of that. And then can I copy and paste this box shadow? Let's find out. The answer is yes. So we're stealing code from ourselves, but we're doing it in context. Are there other optimizations we can make to that? I'm not seeing it. If so, and we'll start with this conic gradient on the body. And you see it doesn't work correctly because the sizing is no good. So we need to set a background position and size, and then we need to set a height. And there's that 100 VH that I was alluding to before. Is this less code? Well, we don't have to use a p tag, so that helps a little bit. Are there other things that we can do there? If I do color red, then you can see exactly where that color comes from. Are there other tunings that could be made based on this? Let's unit replace and minify, and I think we got it. And I guess we can do, little cute dumb stuff like deleting the last 2 braces, which, who cares? I don't care. That's easy. Anybody can do that. There's no skill in that. Like, that's boring, and it just makes your CSS invalid. Oh, and it didn't work. Oh, hilariously, even though this is previewing great, here on Safari, the backend says, nope, that is crap. So I'm not sure exactly what parts it doesn't like. I almost think that if I remove that, it would work. Like, I know the preview's wrong, but yeah, no, that's even worse. So that's fun. A reminder that the preview may surprise you, and if you don't use Chrome, which I stubbornly refuse, like, I actually think Chrome specificity is the least important, least significant part of CSS battles. I do CSS Battle because CSS is fun, not because I care about Chrome bugs and Chrome weirdness. Who cares? I don't care. Like, I don't. Ugh. That's the least interesting thing. Chrome is going to change sometimes daily. Like, Chrome changes. If you're learning Chrome bugs, that knowledge has a shelf life. Whereas, if you learn to write box shadows, if you learn to write good HTML, if you learn to write how color and margins interact, you can make web pages, which is awesome. Like, that's what's great about this stuff to me. That's what's awesome. That's what's fun. Chrome bugs, it's boring. Anyway, that's enough of a rant from me here on a Monday for me. This is a puzzle for a Tuesday. And we got to 100%. So what's our best score? Our best score is this 676. Yeah, and we can, what else can we do? And we can do an ampersand here, yeah. And crop off the last closing brace. Cute. Man. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go make a web page. Write some CSS. It's fun. Super fun. All right. Get out of here.